Hi everybody, my name is Travis Brandner and I'm sitting down here with the wonderful Yoni Wolk of the band Y. Yoni, thank you for sitting down and talking to me, sir.
My pleasure.
So I saw on your Instagram story the other day that you were driving around and you went to your childhood home and also the Long John Silver's that you went to. What part of town was that in? I was trying to figure it out but I couldn't tell.
It's Pleasant Ridge.
Pleasant Ridge, okay. Yeah, I drive around there a lot. So what was it like growing up there? How long did you live there?
Well, I lived there. I moved there when I was 2 years old. So I was born in Gulf Manor, just down the street from there, and in a little apartment. And then my parents bought a house when I was 2 years old in Pleasant Ridge, and so I lived there from 2 years old until I want to say like 19 or something like that.
You haven't lived in Cincinnati forever. I believe you've moved away for certain periods of time.
I did. I lived in California, like the Bay Area, Oakland and Berkeley, for just about a decade, and that was like during my 20s, basically. Yeah.
So that kind of follows up the question that I had was, how do you feel about people with the mentality of like, the best thing to do in Ohio is to leave, or the best thing to do in Cincinnati is to leave, or the people that want to get out? What are your thoughts on people with that, doing that thing?
I understand that, especially if you grow up in a place, you want to explore the world a bit, and, you don't want to really confine your life to, just that one place, because how can you really know what else is out there, and who else is out there, and what opportunities or what there's so many beautiful places in this world. This is not the most beautiful place in this world by any long stretch of the imagination. It's a cool town. It's a good Midwest town, but that's what it is, So, I say to those folks, you've got to do it. You got to go and explore the world. But, this is a good little place to have a home base and to have your family here and stuff.
I will say though, what I think about those people is a lot of times you do see them come back, and I guess even you're an example of somebody that came back.
I am, yeah. I never would have thought that I did, but circumstances inspired, and that's what happened. I may not stay here forever. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm here now.
We're glad you're here. We need more people like you around here in this great city. I consider you to be a very successful person, and I was wondering if you would attribute your success to sort of a chaotic, sporadic type thing, or is it a product of a routine?
That is your first incredible question of the night. Incredible question. That actually gets to first of many. That gets to really what's on my mind these days, because I suck at routine and sustained focus. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't sell myself short. I think I do have a knack at sustained focus. I've made a lot of albums, you know what I mean, and it takes a little bit of focus to take all the songs to the end point and stuff. But in terms of having a sustained routine, I never have. And like you said, like you suggested, it's been sporadic bursts of creative energy for short periods of time that have just sort of carried me through wherever I am. I don't necessarily consider myself a successful person. I consider myself constantly struggling and constantly trying to do better and be better as a human. But I'm working on it, as everyone should be. And, I hope that by the time I go to my grave, I will feel confident in myself and good about what I did in my life.
Thank you for sharing all of that. That's very deep. The reason I ask is because I think of people who are very successful as they have to do the same thing over and over again, but then also I think with the more artistic mind it is kind of a all over the place type thing.
Yeah. I mean, I want to have that more routine-based, slow growth, like, you know, like intense focus type of thing at some point, and I am working on it. But it's hard. It's really hard. If you're not used to that, and I've been out of school for many years, and that's kind of something that gives you that forced routine. I've been working for myself for all those years, and it really has just been those bursts that have carried me through to whatever level of success I've had. I feel like I have not actualized my potential to barely any degree.
Speaking of working for yourself, how many hours a week would you say you put into creative things and music and stuff like that? Have you put in ridiculous 60-hour weeks, or is it always something that happens fast?
No, I definitely have put in 60-hour weeks a lot, but then also go through times, especially when I'm more like working on my own stuff and don't have to be present for someone else, where I can't work for 2 months at a time or something like that, just frustrated, struggling type of thing. But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. When I'm in the throes, I work my ass off. Yeah.
What would you say your creative setup is right now? Is there a lot going on, or is it something minimal, just the MacBook and mics? How big or small is it?
I just have a little room right there, actually, in the back of the house. It's a home studio, but it's pretty legit for a home studio setup. I've made a bunch of records out of there, so yeah.
I feel like a cliche question would be to ask, what advice would you give to younger artists? But my question is, what advice would you give to just younger people in general, maybe people who have the kind of chaotic thought process or the more routine type thing? What advice would you give the younger people?
I think that's a tough one. I think find what you want to focus on and tune out the noise. Find that thing that really makes you feel something and makes you feel alive, and dedicate your life to that.
I will try to take that advice for myself also, so thank you for that, sir. I just want to say that I'm a really big fan of Scott Fredette and all of his work, and I was wondering, I know you guys are friends, I was wondering if you could kind of describe what your relationship is like with him, maybe how long you've known each other, things like that.
Contentious. No, we get along great. He's one of my best friends, and I've known him since 2011, I believe, or 2012, something around then, when he and another friend of ours, Ben Nicholson, were working on a documentary about my band. And I didn't know Scott at all, and I knew of Ben because he used to go to lunch with my dad or something, and they ran in the same Christian circles. And I don't know, they just started filming me, and then Ben kind of had to drop out. He had other obligations, and then there was just Scott come over and film me, and I was in a very difficult time in my life, and he was there and became a good friend pretty quick, just by when you have that intimacy exchange when someone's going through tough times or something.
Well, one of the my favorite things that you guys did together was the Wandering Wolf project, where you guys went around Cincinnati, interviewed a lot of the artists, and it's just an amazing documentary. What was it like doing that? Or I feel like you guys it was one of the best things to show what Cincinnati was like at that time. Do you just want to speak on what that was like?
We won a grant from People's Liberty, which is an organization that I think is defunct now, but they were giving out just like small grants to folks of all different walks to do projects based around Cincinnati, about Cincinnati or in Cincinnati, something. And so he and I had sort of talked about doing some kind of TV version of my podcast for a while. And when that grant came about, it was like, all right, this is realistic. We could do this. So, let's do this Cincinnati episode. It was cool. I met some new people, and saw different parts of the city that I hadn't really, and just kind of explored. And it was fun. We would sometimes Scott would just give me a quick call, like 9 in the morning or something, like get dressed. We're get in the car and we're going to shoot this thing or whatever. And like, okay, so it was it was a cool little project.
I love the music video and the song that you did with La 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 Lily. Could you explain a little bit about your relationship with working with her in music?
Sure. Yeah, my friend Lily West has a band called La 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 La, and that song that you guys helped on the video was called Siren 042, and we just did a little collab. She came down here for like a weekend or something, and she had a start to the song already, and brought that to me, and we developed it, and recorded, and that's what came out of it. And then Scott did that video.
Is it possible there be more music between you two in the future?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there is, because I worked with her all year, actually, on her album. So that'll be coming out at some point. I don't want to say when, but yeah.
So I'm going to ask you one more final question, but before that, I would just like, if you want to take a second to just say where people can find you or your music.
Yeah, people can find me, I'm like at Yoni Wolk on all the social medias, and my main band Y is mostly, I think it's like Y with a question mark, like all spelled out, at Y with a question mark. There's like Y with a question mark.com.
We will all continue to look there, but thank you for doing that. So final question is, who are your favorite Cincinnati bands and musical artists?
Gosh, I don't want to name names because there's just too many great artists and good friends doing it here. But I do just want to give a shout out to the music scene here, because it is, we were talking off mic earlier about, no, we were on mic about just Cincinnati, and I was saying, well, it's just your, the good average Midwest town, which is true. But I do feel like we have an extraordinary music scene here, for the size of the city and the place of the city and all that. So, shout out to all the folks doing it.
Mr. Wolf, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me. I speak for everybody when we say we look forward to shows, hopefully Cincinnati shows in the very near future, and so hopefully we'll run into you later, and we will see everybody later.
Thanks so much. Thank you for having me on Cincy Music. Peace, y'all.